Hey, what's up you guys? Today I wanted to do a video discussing The Wicked King by Holly Black. So this is the second book in the Cruel Prince trilogy. I really enjoyed this book. I really enjoyed the first one. So this book is about a mortal girl who grows up in a fairy world. She has two mortal parents, but her mother used to be married to a fae. And the fae that she used to be married to comes down, hunts her and her husband down, and kills both of them and takes Jude and her two sisters and raises them in the Fae world. And so this book is about Jude trying to gain power and gain respect in this world that she's been raised in, because she has found that she actually does love it there. That is where she wants to be and where she wants to stay. So specifically with The Wicked King, what I liked was how fast-paced it was. The first book is also very fast-paced. I have a book talk for that book too, if you would like to check that out, so I'll link that up above if you want to know my thoughts on that book. This book was also very exciting and it kept me on the edge of my seat the entire time. I was always curious what was going to happen next and what was going on with different characters and why they were doing the things that they were doing and who was going to betray who next. And then I also loved all of the plot twists in this book. There are so many plot twists and Holly Black does them so well. You never see them coming, but you kind of understand where they come from when they happen. And I also really enjoyed the writing style of this book. As I said before, it's very fast-paced, and Holly Black is able to write a fast-paced book while also not making it super confusing by excluding any type of world building. Her world building is also pretty good because it never comes across as very info dumpy. I also enjoyed all of the political aspects of it, how there are different people vying for power, and I just love that type of situation where you've got different people trying to enact their different influences to get what they want. I did have a couple dislikes with this book though. So in my opinion, some of the characters didn't seem to be very consistent. I wish that they had been more consistent so that way they feel more reliable to me. And then I also feel like Jude has a weird motivation for still trying to stick around with this society and these fairies if they don't treat her that well. She really doesn't get a lot of respect. She gets made fun of a lot. She gets kind of bullied a lot. And so I just don't get why she still wants to be in this society given all of the shit that she's gone through in it. So all of that being said, my overall rating of this book is a 4 out of 5 stars. I did enjoy the first one a little bit more just because I felt like the characters were more consistent in the first book, but it was still a very fun novel to read, and I look forward to reading the third book as soon as I'm done filming this video. So at this point in the video, I'm going to launch into some of my spoilery thoughts and feels, go into more detail on some of the stuff that I talked about earlier in my general thoughts on the book. So if you do not want to be spoiled for this book, I would leave now. So this book starts off with Jude controlling Cardon and essentially just ruling the kingdom in his stead, and he is not really a big fan of this leadership role that he has been thrust into. He didn't want it in the first place. Jude kind of forced it on him, and so he's very unhappy with it, and so he's being kind of manipulative and a jerk about it. And so we also get a lot of foreshadowing at this part of the book, and we get a lot of little pieces that we know are going to come into play later. Like, for example, there was one character where Jude realized that she didn't really trust him or thought that he was kind of cagey. We automatically know that he is not going to be a good person come the end of the book, because that's kind of how Holly Black writes, is that she does make those things kind of obvious in the get-go so that you know who not to trust whenever we get around to the plot twists. And also in the beginning of the book, no one is really taking Jude seriously, which I, again, just don't really understand why she is sticking around somewhere where she isn't taken seriously, where she isn't respected, where she doesn't get what she feels she deserves. And there are certain characters who are just terrible to Jude. So like, for example, Locke is absolutely horrible. He is a trash person, and I hope that in the third book he dies. Honestly, I really just hope that something bad happens to him in the third book, because he deserves it, because he has been an asshole this entire time. And then we also learn in this part of the book that Balkan is planning something with the queen. So again, that plays more into the foreshadowing aspects. And I'm a big fan of foreshadowing personally. I do feel like Holly Black uses it a little bit obviously. So we know that Balkan is planning something, so we know something's gonna go down involving him. Even if, you know, other characters say that he is just gonna be a pawn, we do know that something is gonna go down with him regardless. And so during the beginning of the book, it is just a lot of build-up, but because you know it's coming, because you know the foreshadowing, and the foreshadowing is a little bit obvious, you know what's coming, so that's kind of what keeps you on the edge of your seat. And so that is something that I liked. I just wish the foreshadowing made me think a little bit more. And so eventually we get to Tarn's wedding. And at Tarn's wedding, Jude is captured and taken by the undersea queen. And then after about a month of just being tortured, which is such a rough part to read, oh my god, that made me uncomfortable with her being tortured, but her having to act like she didn't think she was being tortured was terrible. But eventually Jude thankfully gets returned home, and her and Cardon have a really cute moment whenever she finally is able to get back to him, and I really liked that, and I thought that that was just really cute. I think Cardon is just an interesting character, and so I like his moments, and I especially like his intimate moments with Jude, and I liked them in this book because I feel like that gave him a little bit more characterization than just the surface level stuff that we get whenever we don't have those intimate moments. From this point forward, Balkan is actually out of prison now because he's been able to talk the Undersea Queen into making him her ambassador on the mainland. And so he is able to start enacting his plot against his brother to try and get the crown, to try and be the king of the land. And so he tries to kill Cardon, and Jude does not take that lying down, and Jude winds up killing Balkan, and I really loved that scene. I was so pumped for Jude whenever she finally got the better of him because he deserved it. He really underestimated her, and she knew so well how to appear weak and how to not let her skills really show. So she knew what she was doing. And so after that, very quickly, Jude and Cardon get married, and I was just laughing my ass off because Jude thought it was so sweet, but I was like, this is the most unromantic thing I've ever witnessed happen, because they essentially just said, I do, and it was just them two, and that was it. Nothing happened. And so after the super unromantic wedding, the Undersea Queen learns about Balkan's death, and she's angry about it and wants some justice. Cardon winds up banishing Jude. That just hurt me. I did not see that coming, and this is where I thought that it was a little inconsistent with his character because he does seem to really like her, and I just don't get it. Like, I think in the third book, he's probably gonna come back around and still care for Jude. I don't think that he did this because he doesn't care about her or because he doesn't want her around. I think he just did it because that's what he felt he had to do. But I don't understand why he didn't tell her any sort of plan, why they didn't come up with anything before they just left to go meet the Sea Queen. I felt like this was a little off for his character because he just didn't consult with anyone, and normally he is someone who kind of consults with people. He doesn't just make plans and do them. He's always been a part of a plan. He's never been the ringleader of a plan. So it was just weird to me that he didn't talk to anyone about whatever his plan is, because I'm sure he's got one, because as I said, I really don't think he's gonna leave Jude banished forever. I do think he's gonna come back. He's gonna be like, hey, I still like you, but I just thought this was a little off for him. And another character that just really annoyed me throughout this book was Maddox. I feel like he was just being extra this entire time. He was just causing drama, and he didn't really serve any purpose in this book. He just really just caused drama and was annoying. So I'm curious to see what he's gonna do in the third book, because I really don't like Maddox. He's another one of the issues with this book that I had, is that he just annoyed the hell out of me. So any scene he was in, I was like, can't he just like disappear or die or something, or just go away? I don't like want him here. I don't know. We'll see what happens with the third book. I'm really excited about it to see kind of where it goes. I liked where this book left off with Jude being in the mortal world, so I'm curious. So I'm really excited to start it. So thank you so much for watching. I really enjoyed making this video, and if you would like to discuss these books with me, feel free to comment in the comment section down below. If you like this video, please feel free to like and subscribe, and I make videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, so I will see you then. Goodbye.